Hey everybody, it's Marshmallow here. This is giving my Girl Meets World, Girl Meets the Real World review. I haven't done one of these videos in a long time, so I decided, hey, why not do this video, right? Okay, so we're gonna jump into this review. I didn't like this episode as much as I thought I would. You know, it was kind of like at the beginning it started off pretty well, but then it kind of just sloped down, and it didn't sync really well. You know what I'm talking about? Like I didn't feel it as much as I felt the other episodes. And after being a while, being gone for a while from reviewing these, episodes of season 3, and when I come back, I want to come back to a really great episode. But I just didn't. I just didn't come to a good episode this time around. So let's talk about it. So in this episode, Riley is faced with obviously it's Riley. Riley is faced with something that she didn't want to be faced with, but she got faced with it, and it was debate. And we had a debate episode before, not like this one though. This episode was about Riley trying to find out the good and evil of the world, and I know what they're doing. This season has been really up and down. Throughout season 2, I feel like season 2 was a good run. You know what I mean? Like, it had like some up and downs too, but it wasn't as bad as this season. This season has been up and down and up and down and up and down. Like, it's not working consistently, and that's something that other shows like Bunked has been able to do. I have not watched one episode of Bizarre Bark yet. I probably should. But I'm sure Bizarre Bark is probably doing pretty well. I don't know. I haven't watched that. I don't really want to, but some of you guys may want me to, so yeah, but haven't watched it, probably won't. Casey Undercover is a good example. I reviewed that last year. I don't remember what. It was like season 1, so it's probably last year. But I reviewed that. That was very consistent as well. So things like that, those shows are just doing really well. Whereas Girl Meets World, which a lot of you love, and I'm a good fan of it. I like a good reboot, or I guess it's a continuation. I don't know what it is. Or a reunion? I don't know. It's weird. But, it's not consistent. It's just not. It's just not consistent, and I don't like that it's not consistent, We had the Ski Lodge episodes, we had this episode, we had the first episode. Like, it's just, like, it was supposed to be the high school season. It's not. It really isn't focusing on that. It's going back to a lot of what season 2 accomplished, and that was being able to fit that whole 31 episodes of pre-high school behavior so that we could get to high school, right? And it's already accomplished that, and so now season 3 is going back to that, and that's not really what it's supposed to do. In my opinion, that's what it is doing. So this episode, the problems with it, first of all, side stories. Side stories have to get better. I liked where they were going with Auggie and Topanga, but as I've been saying in some of my past Girl Meets World videos, I think that what they should do is, like, they went to the beach, right? This episode they talked about going to the beach. Go to the beach, like, actually show us the beach, right? Like, I don't know if it's too much money for that, to make a whole new set for it, or if there's, like, not enough time in the episode, because Girl Meets World has some pretty bad time management as well. Like, I don't know what it is, but just show us some of those side stories. Take us to Auggie's school. Take us around, like, New York. That's what I liked about Jesse's, because Jesse, which is a wide show, like, it went places within the show. Like, you always saw a new location, and it wasn't confined like Girl Meets World is, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's more open, it's more bold, Jesse is, rather than Girl Meets World, which is very confined, very small. There's just not a lot to do with the show, which is kind of disappointing because you'd think that's what they'd be able to do. I don't know, like, and don't use the excuse, well, Girl Meets World has high school young characters and they have to be in school the whole time. Did Jesse? No, Jesse did not go to school, or, well, not the character Jesse, but you guys know what I'm saying. The show wasn't always in high school or in school or whatever. It had school moments and it had school scenes in the show, but like towards the back half of the series, there was like barely any school at all, right? Like, we didn't see that, and we didn't have to. And that's the thing about Girl Meets World, we don't have to. I mean, I guess it makes sense if Corey's a teacher, that is an excuse, but with the main characters, it's not, right? You know what I mean? Another thing that I didn't like about this episode was that it started out very deep, but then it got off to being not a big payoff. You know what I mean? Like, Girl Meets World gets into deep scenes. Like the scene where Riley was looking at the laptop, very deep. But then it heads over, and she's like, war, and things like that. And I'm like, okay, those are big problems in the world, but you set it up to where it was, like, really dark and really, like, this is a serious thing, and it's just not the payoff that I was expecting. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as good as you were setting it up to be. So that's another problem that I have. Another problem that was in this episode was the whole cookie thing with Zay. What? That was so stupid. Like, when Zay had the cookie, like, I understand that it was his old grandmother. She makes cookies. She sends him one cookie, and then Riley eats it, and he gets super upset. I understand why he felt that way, because, again, he was like, oh, my grandma might die, and I might not get any of these cookies ever again. Like, I kind of understand that. But it's like, what? You're gonna be super upset about that? Like, it doesn't fit within the episode. It just doesn't. This whole episode is a mess. I don't like where it went. Now, by the end, it was able to kind of clean up a little bit. Like, it was like, you know, with Two Shoes Larry, I think that was his name, right? Like, it was able to kind of clean it up by the end of the episode, but you're kind of like, at that point, you're just like, what happened? Like, the whole middle. It's like it started off at a good point, it ended at a good point, but the middle was a catastrophe. Like, it just wasn't good. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with these statements that I have made? So, this episode, I cannot wait to see the next episode so I can hopefully do a better review, because that's what I'm hoping at this point. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to see what you thought about this episode. Links there to my other Girl Meets World videos. Links are there to my Twitter, Instagram, Vine, vlog channel, and gaming channel. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.